Welcome to the epoxy page. Here's how we do it.
Alright, we're going to do this basement here today. We've got a coating down on the floor, or a porch paint. We're going to take and we're going to remove that, and we're going to transform this concrete into something beautiful. These areas here where the concrete is spalted and broken away, we'll have to pre-address these areas before we put the top coats on there. One of the most asked questions is are we going to create dust in our process? And the answer is we're going to create some dust. Anytime you mess with concrete, it's inevitable that you're going to create dust. We're going to put plastic up to try to contain that as much as we can. And our equipment have dust systems on there and shrouds around there to contain it as best as we can. I would say 90–95% dust free in our process, in our cleaning process. Day two. Yesterday we've shot blast, got the floor cleaned, and now we've put a prime coat down. This primer, you can see in these shinier spots, these are low spots, and what that prime coat does is it allows it to flow into these pits and divots and low spots and to fill them, so then when we start to bring the next coat on there, it starts to build at that point. Drain where it was spalted. What we've done is we've addressed that area with a two-part epoxy, kind of like a peanut butter consistency. It's actually filled in the low spots. So now we prime this, and then we go over top with a top coat. Any areas that are uneven, we want to make sure that we address them so they don't telegraph through the top coats. The edges are hand brushed, so this is quality coatings. We're not getting it up on the wall. We're hand edging all the edges, and then we have smaller rollers to get in the tight areas with that. As the material is still wet, we broadcast the vinyl chips into that, and we have special cleats that actually suspend us from the material that will just leave little pinholes, and the epoxy has that self-leveling ability, so then pinholes will close rather than have your footprints be a little bit harder to cover up. Day three, we're going to put a clear coat over top of this to seal everything in place, and so it's going to be easy to maintain as well. If you don't put a clear coat over top of these chips, the dirt will tend to mar them chips a little bit. So we want to make sure that the clear sealer is on top of there, and we're good to go. We're doing a basement here, so people are probably asking, is that going to be smelly? This 100% epoxy is fine, plus it has no odor, which is definitely a benefit for that. Okay, now we got the finished project here. It's a nice functional basement that's easy to maintain. Just squeeze it right off. Okay, now remember this area here that was all spalted. We've filled that in, and there's hardly any trace of where that was. This spot here was really bad and spalted. That we filled that in, and you can hardly even tell that area was messed up at one point.
And that's how we do it. If you have any other questions, give me a call. The number is 419-551-1064.